Arno, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Arno? Oh, yes. Okay, he's typing. I got to watch this chat. So, huh?
We can't hear him.
Okay, yeah. Do I need to use this?
Yes.
Okay,
That
okay.
probably good.
Okay. Bruce said that was probably good. So we're going to get the work session started, just to ask questions about the budget right now. So while Joel's in here, he's going to be in here with us for just a few minutes. So I just want to kind of open the floor for questions. I just gave you guys just something that had a little bit of an update to it from the last one that you had. And Arno, you should have been emailed that a few minutes ago. So I don't know if David's coming or not, but...
No. He said he's got a big truck turned over.
Oh, he does? So he's not going to be here for the meeting either? Okay. Okay. All right.
That's all.
Huh?
We have enough for a meeting? We won't have enough for the meeting, and we will. Not unless Lance shows up.
He won't. He's out of town.
No,
So would David be here at 6?
nothing on it.
He said he wouldn't be here. I was talking to him about towing the truck for me, and he said he was tied up today. He wouldn't be.
Did you talk to him earlier? And he said,
Not since this morning. He usually calls, but he
okay.
can't show up.
Okay. Well, I'm assuming we can still go ahead with the work session,
Yeah,
and
go
then
ahead
we'll
with the work
figure that
session.
out by 6 o'clock, I guess, is what we'll do. So, okay. All right. You guys had time to look at this, to write down some questions. Anybody want to go first? Okay.
The top page, is that the income that's going to come into the general fund?
Sorry, I don't have a copy.
Oh, sorry, Joel.
Can you restate your question?
This cover sheet, that is funds that's going to be coming into the general fund. Is that correct?
Yes,
So all we're projecting on property tax is $6,090, different from what was brought in last year? I was say that one more time. In lieu, yeah.
The in lieu of taxes would be on the properties that have discount or free rent, I believe, assisted rent. There's probably 3 complexes that pay.
What is police subsidy?
That is a state funded subsidy, like a bonus. You get it every year. I see that the 23-24 projected, and it's projected because the audit is not yet final, and that's what I've been spending so much time on today, and what I've got to, I'm not exactly ready for you right now. 10,400 in 2 years ago, 24,000 for the 24-25 projected, and we're using the same number for 2025-26.
And what's going to be the difference on the courthouse square? It's up, what, 120,000 on the projective side?
That is the actual revenue that has been received. Right.
That is the amount that we got last year. That 623 was what we got last year. So that's a conservative number over here as well. So we're hopeful that it's, you know, we think it'll be higher than 623 this year.
That's real good.
So.
The 300,000 in ARPA funds in column 2 projected, that is not a hard number.
We discussed that earlier today, and it may be that, you know, just when fiscal years may have lapped over, there may have been some like inventory when we received it. It's kind of what we were projecting today, and then we may have just filled up and those sales have not been calculated yet. There's probably a little truing up to do on that, but our traffic is up. So that was one of the things that I looked at today is that doesn't seem, that number will probably be adjusted a little bit when we get the final on that.
That's all I got on that page.
Okay. Projected is 47. That's one of the numbers that could change. I expect that the 130,000 was based on a good increase from the previous 71,400, which is projected for 23-24. I think that might have been, of course, that's a whole year ago. So it's hard to say, but I expected the mayor was looking for a good increase. And that 47,000 could change. We're finding some adjustments still to be made. I feel 65,000 is a relatively safe number.
$95,000, right? Pardon me?
5 cents.
Yeah. But the increase on the salaries, 91,335, where's the rest of that money going to come from other than property tax?
It may be that the 238,000 still has some allocation between water and gas, because that is a strong increase.
Don't the water and gas come out of a different department?
They do, but when some employees are paid out of salaries and wages, some of those are allocated by the auditor's request, and it does make sense that we have to allocate some of it to water and gas. For example, my salary is allocated between water, gas, and general. One of 3 salaries that are done that way. The projected numbers are good. They are early. The audit is not going to be completed until this fall. So we're working on fluid numbers at this point.
You go down there to gas, oil, diesel fuel, there's nothing in there in the projected side that they are on the original budget.
We've got another line item. I believe the mayor included that, and I'd left it exactly, well, she and I discussed this. If you'll follow down, a little more than halfway down, you'll find another gas, oil, diesel.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that's the better number.
Okay.
The 3 numbers at the top are duplicates and just have not yet been pulled off. That is just for consideration that they could be pulled off.
On the hospital insurance, on the proposed side, it's cheaper than the original budget.
Which line are you looking at?
About a little ways down, the hospital and health insurance.
19,559.
Yes, sir. That's the projected, right?
Right. That is slightly above the projected 23-24, and then we increased it just a little bit above 25. For 25-26, we increased it another couple of percentage points. Again, the original budget was based on that hospital insurance. Probably, I feel strongly that it was at one time, that particular account was the only hospital and health insurance in the whole budget for general fund. Just last year, it was broken up into so that the payroll tax and the hospital insurance would follow each major category. Like fire department has its own health insurance line, police has, and so forth. So that projected number, early budget, was before those reclassifications.
And I see the gas, oil, and diesel that you're referring to now.
Okay. And note that the $90,000 in payroll tax, the $84,000 in retirement in that same category on page 2 in the middle, those are representing early projections as if all the expenses for those line items were from that one category. And now it's broken up where it's more informative by and now in police and now in fire and such.
Before we carry on, increases on pay per employee.
Well, specifically, there's the salary study that you guys had that shows the steps to go up. You know, I was asking to look at the public service and ask you guys to let me look at some of them that had had more years, that I think when that was started, some of them didn't go to the step that we thought should be in place for them based on years of service. So most of these proposed are one step, or if they have a different job title, you know, moved up to a different position using the salary study. But in public service, we put a little extra in here to try to add for some years of service raise. So there's not necessarily a percentage, it's just based on that salary, what the next step in the salary study, salary survey.
And I noticed this year in your public safety and fire, overtime wages instead of comp.
Well, currently, I mean, there are some overtime wages in the payroll. There is comp time currently as well. So there are times where there's some overtime paid and then times where it's comp time. You might help me explain that better. But
Some of the overtime in the police is Tennessee Highway Safety Grant, and that's what some of that is, mostly in the police department.
Will that take care of the comp time too?
The state gives it to us, but it has to be shown as comp time.
Gotcha.
But no,
They get
that would not
reimbursed.
take care of the comp time in that.
While we're discussing that, there are changes in accounting rules in that you now have to book the comp time, vacation time. So the water and sewer, being enterprise funds, there's been an adjustment to increase the salary, decrease the salary when you add the comp time, vacation time that has not previously been on the books. We have talked about it. I think the mayor is going to get with Mr. Wofford and just run some numbers. He may call me with some questions, and I don't do any computations on water sales and such, but between the three of us, we can determine if it's which should be happening or not. I couldn't tell you at this point. I know that there each year are significant repairs, and it's the only income that you're going to get from water is the water sales, sewer sales. The fund balance looks very, very strong. It's certainly not cash. That's the plant in service, the undepreciated, or the net book value of equipment that's been placed in service, the water lines. Certainly those can't be converted to cash if necessary, but I think a water increase is necessary to look at. It may be determined that you don't need one, but again, I'm not in position to say. I think it should definitely be looked at every couple of years anyway, just to see where you are in projected repairs, projected cash flow.
And that may be something that, even getting a study on that from someone outside. I am in discussions with Wofford about that right now, just to see what their opinion is with their older system and continual upgrades, but we are moving forward on, we've got some things in the works right now to decrease our leakage, so that's helpful, but there's still some things that'll need to be done ongoing, so we are looking at that. Any other specific questions for Joel at this time?
What about a natural gas increase? No? Yeah? Maybe?
I believe that's adjusted each month.
Yeah, it is.
It's what?
Adjusted each month.
Gotcha.
Depends on what they charge us. So.
Hedge.
What?
That's where they come in with the hedging and all that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Did I understand that we're going to have to reconvene to pass the second reading on another night?
Okay. It looks like we're not going to have a quorum, that David can't get here, so I think we are going to have to reconvene.
Well, that works well for better projected numbers. So another few days or another week, whatever is necessary, we can get it more fine-tuned.
Okay. And we have, the other two meetings. That'd be good, yeah. So we'll shoot for the 30th.
I can make that day.
No one go out of town. Okay, you good that day too? Good, okay. All right, next Monday, yeah. Okay. Arno, will you be here next Monday? He'll type, so, okay.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, at this time, I guess we will close. I did print y'all off a form that did tell if, we end up considering the increasing the certified tax rate. There is a process, and just printed you off something about, what it would cost per year for different levels of property value. So we can look at that as well. Any questions on that?
That's a MTS recommendation, right? 5 cents
It
every
is
year.
an MTS recommendation, yes. Okay, if nothing further, then we will end the work session.